When I saw this post right here on Facebook, and when I saw this post, I'm like, man, that's cold. Here you see, if you see or familiar with those two movies, one of them is Forrest Gump, and the other one is The Best Man, the first Best Man movie. And whoever this person say that these are the two worst enemy in movie history, and I'm glad they died. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. One of them died of cancer, the other one died of AIDS. Okay, let's break it down. Starting with the Jenny character on the movie Forrest Gump, the movie that's on the left hand side. Forrest, the one who portrayed as Tom Hanks. I even hear some people say he's a mentally handicapped man who has a low IQ, don't know much of anything. And one thing I can say about Forrest Gump though, he lived a life that's very lucky. He like his I think most majority of his life come in by luck. It's just by fortunate. He just do one simple thing, and next thing you know, he end up being rich or famous. Let's just start off with him running away from bullies. That got him in the football team, and which put him in college. And when he got in college, he still tried to pursue Jenny. Jenny was out here making out with different men, I guess, and got kicked out of college. Well, after college, Forrest Gump went on to the army, which he took part in Vietnam War. Where at that time it was like a mass draft that went on at the time. Fortunate for him, miraculously, he didn't die, let alone lose limbs or get injured badly. Even got PTSD. He just came out the war unscathed and as a war hero, and got awarded the Medal of Honor. That's lucky. Then he met this guy in the army named, of course, he met Lieutenant Dan, who they ended up being friends even after the army. And he made also friend of a guy named Bubba who died in the war. Took over, helped him out for his business as a favor for him, and ended up getting rich out that business. Then been nice enough to give the family is right for business as the Bubba Gump Shrimp Foundation, and the family ended up being rich. Then he decided that what, I'm kind of bored since I got shot in the hips during war. I'm gonna decide to do ping ponging. Did some ping ponging. Ended up being the best ping pong in the world. Went from country to country doing ping pong. Man, I tell you, sometimes God look after people who's mentally challenged. I mean, Forrest Gump has so many lucks and end up getting rich and famous. I mean, I'm just saying. They end up being a ping pong champion of the world just by playing ping pong because somebody showed him how to play ping pong. Use that skill, end up getting rich and famous. I mean, this dude's sitting on millions and billions. I'm like, good gosh. And this man had IQ of 60. But anyway, back to Forrest and Jenny. I don't really blame Jenny too much because you got to think about it. Jenny had a bad upbringing. You know, in the house she was staying in with her disgusting father, who sexually violated her and her own sisters. And every single day he did that and abused Jenny. And Jenny sometimes too scared to even want to go home, that she want to kick it with Forrest and want to stay with Forrest. And you know what? This might even cause Forrest to be more promiscuous. I'm not Forrest. I'm sorry. Cause Jenny to be more promiscuous, even sleep in the same bed with Forrest because she's too scared to go home because her father, I guess, at nighttime sneak in the bed where his disgusting self. Where Jenny at to do what he do her, violate this little child, and of course, Jenny moved away from the house, and I think the father eventually died, and Jenny don't want no part of that house. It's to the point where later on in life, she saw the house again. She started throwing rocks and sticks and stones at the house. She didn't like that because that house is what ruined her life. She turned to, throughout her life, she was doing more, prostituting, promiscuous act with different dudes, taking on drugs to escape her problems, even attempting suicide a few times. She was messed up, and she don't want to draw Forrest in that mix. That's why she kind of avoid Forrest because she know Forrest is an innocent person, very wholesome, innocent. He didn't really deserve much of anything. She know that Forrest isn't. I don't think she think Forrest isn't really right up there, and she don't want to ruin it to Forrest. And she see that Forrest is actually doing pretty good in life, and she don't want to ruin that. And she came back to see Forrest once in a while because she's a good friend to Forrest. She actually was a good friend. And some people say that the kid that she got wasn't Forrest. I think it is because if you've seen the movie, how Forrest and that child was moving their head sideways watching television, that's when she know, yeah, that's his son, all right. And also, before she died, she know that she gets confirmed to Forrest that she's sick and she got a disease that there's no treatment, hence AIDS. And she knew that Forrest would be a good father because she see the way how Forrest took care of her. She know that Forrest would take care of his own son. So she dies smiling, knowing that little Forrest is in good hands with Forrest Gump. And she even tried to let Forrest know that, she been messed up. She didn't really try to avoid him or anything, which she wasn't. She was a good person. It's just that those two weren't really equally yoked. She was a little too wild for Forrest. And like I say, you can't really blame Jenny. Now, on to the best man with Lance and Mia. Lance is a football player. He's a professional football player, but in college he played football in college. He was a good ball player. And of course, being in college, especially if you're a very famous, very like a popular football player, you get a lot of chicks. Well, that's what he did. He get about over 50 women he done smashed. His girlfriend, who was a loyal girlfriend at one point, just got tired of him being a dog. So what she did? Now, she was wrong for this. Now, I agree. That was disgusting what she did. But anyway, what she did, got back at him by cheating on him. And not just cheating, but cheated on him with his best friend. Ouch, that hurt. That's like you taking a dagger and stabbing it in somebody's back, and you twisting the blade as you stabbing them. You just twisting it and twisting it where it hurts even more. That's what it's like. And this son of a, got the nerve to wrote a book about it. Basically, how the college life is very similar to the book. And Lance read the book. He said, "You know what? Hey, this book is kind of similar to what we do in college." He said, "Hey, in fact, it is similar. Oh, let me see. I'll read some more of that." Then he read a part where Mia had an affair. He said, okay, now we're getting somewhere. He must know who she had an affair with. Okay, I'm gonna read this. Okay. Now who that person is? Who this person that she had an affair with? Come to find out, it was him. He put two and two together. He was steaming. Man, he was looking for him. Beat him up on the day they're supposed to prepare to get married. Put a beating on him. And I don't blame him. You don't do your friend like that. I'm sorry. There's certain lines you just don't cross. And that's one of them. And got the nerve to wrote a book on it and got it published where the whole world could see it. Well, they don't really know, but still, the taste. He been nice enough to endorse his books and everything, just to find out the hard the harsh truth of what his girlfriend at the time did. Yes, yes, man. If I was him, I'd beat him up even harder. One of those football rings I have on my finger. I make sure I put a print on his face of a logo, a permanent scar where he can't erase. So when you look at his face, that reminds you, don't play with me. Do not play with me. I don't play that. That's what you get. Yeah, he deserved that beating. Now, does she deserve to get cancer? Heck no. Nobody don't deserve to get cancer and die. No. I mean, at that time they was in college. They were young. They were youngins. They were children. They're not children, but they were kids. Young college students. They do things in life. They make mistakes. I understand. But that right there, that mistake right there, that kind of question friendship with that person. I understand. But she trying to get back at him because of what he did to her, which is understandable. But sometimes getting back isn't always the good thing. But I don't think that she probably would know that she might end up marrying him because they end up being in a relationship where they doing good together. You know what I'm saying? They're doing real good together. So she probably didn't expect to marry him or anything, which I agree. I can understand. I understand, but sometimes things happen. But he ended up marrying her anyway, and let bygones be bygones. Yeah. Now, later on in the series, maybe the next series, The Best Man Holiday, that's when he realized how much he really loved his wife, especially when she had a terminal illness. He stood by her side, been with her until she died, and that hurted him. And let me tell you, that was sad. Now, whoever put this up by those that they both deserve to die, nah, they didn't. Nah, they don't. I mean, people make mistakes. I agree, but no, I don't want to wish that on nobody. And plus, he forgave her, and she, in a way, kind of apologized, saying that they were children and everything. They was young. They were college students, and they didn't really expect for the relationship to be the way it is and blossom. But they made it work, and they ended up being a loyal family. Well, what's funny though? During that beating, he was calling out for God. God help me. He said, "Oh, you gonna call for God now? Okay, I got you. You're gonna need him." I thought it was funny. I'm sorry, but tell me what you think though.